like shoes.
Yeah.
$360 melon.
Yeah.
Cheap is the electronics like PlayStation and Nintendo and stuff.
Cheap? Expensive? Today, Kathy Cat is gonna go and ask foreigners who've come to Japan what is cheaper in their country or more expensive in their country compared to here in Japan. Let's go and ask foreigners in Japan.
We just started shopping, but actually Uber is cheaper here than it is at home.
Right.
Yeah, the car ride.
Yeah. We'll have to check out the Converse. I know that they're about $60 to $100 in the US. I don't know how much they are here.
Uber is a good example too.
The drinks and food are fairly cheap compared to Australia. Yeah, we looked at we went to go look to get our nails done, and it looked quite expensive compared to Australia. The shopping's quite it ranges. It's quite similar, but you can find some cheaper things and some more expensive things, I think.
Oh, nails expensive. What kind of nails did you want to get done?
We wanted to get acrylic, sort of fun, kawaii ones, but I don't know. We're not sure yet because it's quite expensive.
How much was it?
I think it was about 80 Australian dollars, which is
maybe 8,000, 9,000 yen or something.
Yeah.
Food is cheaper here. How much cheaper?
A fair bit cheaper. We paid probably half price, maybe? About half price.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's go for something simple like a sandwich.
We had dumplings. Yeah, we didn't have sandwiches. And some gyozas.
So how much did you pay for that? Dumplings, gyozas?
I mean, 400. Yeah, 400.
It kind of averages out because we're from San Francisco Bay Area and it could be a little pricey. So we were comfortable with the prices here, pretty reasonable. A lot of food places though. Tons of food places that we've never experienced. Very small, maybe 5 or 6 seats. But that was pretty interesting, where in the States we don't have very small eateries like that. Yeah. Ours are pretty big. Yeah. So that was really nice.
Those little sub streets and you go down the steps and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would say shoes. Shoes are a couple $100s. It just depends on what kind of shoe it is out here, because some of the shoe brands are cheaper out here than they would be in America, and then some of the shoes that I've seen have been a couple $100s. Yeah, just expensive.
Food's heaps cheaper on the most part.
Yeah. Food is super cheap. Where we live, going out to eat is pretty expensive all the time. But here it's you can choose really cheap options.
Everything's pretty much either on par or cheaper here.
Yeah.
There's nothing where you went here, oh, that's more expensive.
Rockmelon?
Yeah.
Cantaloupe?
Right?
Rockmelon? Melons?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Expensive fruit, right? Oh my gosh. What's the most expensive fruit you've seen?
A rock melon for $86 yesterday, right? In the department store. Yeah, but other than that, Sydney is a really expensive place to live, so it's pretty cheap here.
Food. The food is so much cheaper.
Yeah.
Water you can get from the machines for in Australia we call it $1 and that, but in Australia if you go buy it they'll ask for $4 or something.
Yeah, $4,
so it's so different.
And the food, you can't spend under $10 to buy your lunch, but in Japan you could buy multiple things to eat. Oh, fruit.
Yeah.
Fruit is so expensive.
Oh, yeah, we went to Ginza. Do you know what that is?
Yes.
Yeah, and there was
$160 melon. Yeah.
$360 melon.
Yeah.
Would you pay $360 for a melon?
No. But it's probably good quality, so.
Yeah, in Switzerland it's really everything is expensive. So there isn't much we've seen. So this is really expensive. So right now, so maybe we will see that, but right now we didn't see that. So I don't know.
Have you seen anything?
No, we're used to it, to high prices. Yeah.
I guess so, yes. Yeah. Is there anything super cheap here where you're that is so cheap, I don't believe it?
Also, we make school. Also, we're here in a school, so the school isn't really cheap, but I hope we got good lessons and good teachers, and so I hope we can do that.
All right, good value for your money then.
Thank you. Yeah.
So half a year you're at a school and you're learning Japanese and staying there?
Yeah. Well, we have residents and we come each day. We have to go from the residence to the school and go back.
Right. May I ask how much the tuition, everything is together? Because you said it's expensive. How much is that?
The school itself, 16,000 Swiss francs.
For half a year?
Yeah.
How much is that in euros? I don't know how much that is Swiss franc is.
That's a good question. I think 13 till 40,000. I think.
Okay.
Expensive, I would say food.
Food is expensive here.
Yeah, because the currency. Because Malaysia's currency and Japan's like, and then what I see is cheap is the electronics like PlayStation and Nintendo and stuff.
PlayStation and Nintendo is cheaper in Japan?
Yeah, it's like when you compare it in ringgit Malaysia, it's like 1,600 for a PlayStation 4. But here we can get like 1,000 only. So that's like really cheap for us.
I didn't know that.
That's in my opinion, I think.
Those were actually already all questions. Thank you so much. So cheap versus expensive in Japan. I must say there are a lot of things here in Japan that are very, very, very cheap, and that is because China is quite close. So for example, the 100 yen stores here in Japan stock so many things at such a cheap price. You have nothing in comparison. Not even Poundland or Euro Shop or Dollar Shop can offer you the same quality for the same price. And it's amazing. There's so many goods in there. So that's one of the things that many people love when they come to Japan, because you can go shopping, and it's just 100 yen. Well, like 108 yen with the current tax. Then expensive in Japan is one thing. Oh my god, are special fruits and meat expensive in Japan? I've just got this explained. The director of Ask Japanese explained this to me just now. He said the first thing of the year is always very important. So, like, for example, there's the first dream of the year that's important, and in this case, the first fruit of the year is very important. And if you have from a high class, the very first fruit, that will be very, very expensive, and it will be sold specifically because it's the very first fruit of the year of this very special brand. So, for example, what he told me, like grapes, like one of those, little, what's the word for it, like branches of grapes, all of them coming together. The most expensive one last year for the first grapes of the year of one company was over 1 million yen for fruits, for grapes. But it's out there and some people do buy it because it's supposed to be very good and very tasty, and fruits also have a little number sometimes with them, and the number indicates how sweet they are. So if you pick the right number, you'll never get a sour strawberry ever in your life. It will be more expensive, but it will be incredibly sweet. So that's the merit of that. I hope I'll catch you soon for another video on Ask Japanese, and leave us comments. What's the most expensive and the cheapest thing that you can find in your country? And I hope I'll catch you soon on Ask Japanese or my channel.